So, welcome everyone to this Talk to the Animals live. As I said before, so we're live on Facebook and Instagram, which is very exciting, and we're going to be talking about what is it that you love about animals? So, what is it for you, Viv?
How long have you got? That's the question. I love how they just be. They don't, a David doesn't try and pretend to be a hippopotamus. A dog doesn't try to be a cat. They're so just cool being them. It's like they don't know that there's other realities around them. They're just wholly and solely them in their world and their reality. And they never give up on that. They don't slide into somebody else's world or into somebody else's reality. They might get involved in a bit of a scuffle for a moment while they sort things out, but they wholly and solely have them.
Yeah, I love that. I actually saw a funny thing recently where it says, how do you know if you're an introvert? And that's when if you're at a party, you're hanging out with the dog.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me too. But yeah,
Hands up, introvert.
yeah, I think, and I was looking at that and I was like, why is that? And I'm like, well, it just seems like I guess there's just so much receiving available with animals, and there's not so much like pretense. Like as you said, the animals just be, and they're there to be present and receive, and so it's like often a much more inviting energy for those that love animals and love to be around animals.
And it's funny you saying that about the whole introvert thing, because there's a sense of rest, there's a sense of peace, there's a sense of okayness when you are sneaking off to the dog kennel, or you are hanging out over the back fence looking at the cows or stroking the cat or whatever it is. If there's any kind of angst or uncertainty in somebody's world, like a lot of animals are being used as therapy animals, because they have this ability to just calm and invite people into a very different space, out of their emotions, out of their reactions, out of that fight, flight, or that defense mechanism that a lot of people go into. And it's hanging out with your dog or your cat or your horse or whatever it is, dissipates as if by magic, dissipates whatever funkiness is going on in your day, whatever has upset you, whatever you're holding on to, whatever you're mentally masturbating in your head with. It's like the animals just have that space where none of that is relevant, none of it's significant.
Yeah, I think the other way that I know that I love animals is because, like, for example, if my dogs ever eat a pair of shoes or anything, I'm usually like scolding them, but then hugging them again within about 5 minutes. So it doesn't the hate doesn't last very long, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting thing because we can just jump to the conclusion that the dog's being really naughty or it's misbehaving, and we start to put all of our projections onto the animal, and it's like, hang on a second, what's actually going on in that animal's world? And having that ability to reach into their world and sense and ask them the question as to what's going on? It's like they don't do it all day, every day. Often they do it because there is something they're trying to communicate. So, what is it we love about them? We love their mischievousness as well. We love some of the stuff. I mean, who doesn't laugh when you come home and, well, not your own home, but maybe somebody else's, or you see a post where the dog's just torn the beanbag to shreds, or they've had a party with the feather cushions everywhere. It's like you can't help but laugh at that stuff.
Yeah, and the owners usually go, "Who did it?" And there's usually one dog going,
he did.
Yeah.
So what else do you love? What else do you love about the animals?
Well, I mean, I guess if you take it also like outside of pets, like for me, when I go surfing, I'm like always surrounded by animals. There's always dolphins, there's always birds, you can always see fish, and it's just like everything is so much more alive when animals are present, because they have a unique energy that they contribute to every situation. And I think that's something that I guess probably doesn't get acknowledged as much as it could. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful, and I love that about the animals. The energy that they contribute to the earth and everything around them is special, and I really desire to have that, and keep that, and make sure that it stays around, because I think it's actually a vital energy for
Oh,
the earth to thrive. And yeah, it would be
yeah.
not very much fun without animals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we bought a new house, or we're new to the region where we're living right now, and our beautiful bedroom's got this big window. So basically on three sides, we have um, the noise of the morning chorus, and out here we have these beautiful little finches, and they are literally in their hundreds. There's a big hedge that they nest in, and there's lots of food in the garden, the grasses and the plants. The guy who was here before deliberately planted all of the nectar producing native bushes to bring in the wildlife, because otherwise it's quite a harsh environment. Here it's very agricultural. But to lie in bed, and the first thing I hear in the morning is this absolute symphony of these finches just chattering and chirping and singing, and that's my alarm clock in the morning. And I'm like, I lie in bed and go, how did I get so lucky to wake up to this? And it's this beautiful acoustical symphony that just brings so much joy to my molecules. It contributes so much to my world and to everything around,
Yeah, and one thing that so the founder of Access Consciousness, the tools that we use in Talk to the Animals, Gary Douglas said, was about, like, it's very hard to basically maintain your unhappiness when you go outside and the birds are singing. Like, the birds don't wake up and like, oh, I feel pathetic today, I'm not going to sing. The birds wake up and they're like, I'm happy, I'm going to sing. So it's a really
Yeah.
also great, like, they don't hold on to things like people do, and I think that's also something we can really learn from the animals and apply to our lives.
Yeah. There is so much. I just want to share a very quick story. Just recently, Saul and I were both a 7-day class with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access. And it was about creating greater possibilities, as all the classes are. But this particular 7-day is where you immerse yourself into more and more consciousness and more of an expanded space and more oneness and connection to everything. And after the class finished, because it was like 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. our time in Australia, and I couldn't wait to get out into the day and take my dog for a walk. And there was one, I think it was about day 4, and we were talking about having your reality and not losing that to other people's emotions or their grumpiness or their button pressing or whatever it is. And I walked outside and I looked up, and there was this bird of prey. It was so far up I couldn't see what it was, but I knew it was a bird of prey, and it had 15 crows dive bombing it and flapping around it and doing their best, like it was this skydiving team with these crows trying to, I don't know whether they were trying to attack or protect or defend. I literally sat down for 20 minutes and watched as each of these crows just got bored and let go and just, flew off somewhere else. And one by one, these crows just peeled off until there were 2 left. That entire 20 minutes, that bird of prey did not react, it didn't change trajectory, it didn't get involved, it didn't get engaged, it just held this incredibly majestic space. And it just had its eyes on where it was going. And it was just, I went, wow, what a phenomenal, metaphor, if you want to call it that, but just such a beautiful demonstration that nature bees when you're willing to listen and observe and sense with your being and connect and have that time just to be present with them.
Yeah, I love that. And I remember from one of the things that really blew me away from doing the basically in the talk to the animals classes, we have people bring, you know, their animals along sometimes. And I remember doing in the facilitator class, like you know, doing a facilitation with a lady and her pet and basically like tapping into them. And it was like the energy between them was so strong, it kind of like blew me away. And it's like it's not like, you know, it's way beyond love, but it's like this amazing connection that's actually possible
Mm.
with animals and people that you know, it's just you just don't find that everywhere. And I just remember being
Mm.
like, holy moly, I think it was a lady and her cat or something, and you know, from the outside it didn't look like there was much going on, but like tapping into
Yeah.
them, you know, from a sort of energetic point of view, it was like it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just such a beautiful, we talk about expanding our receiving, because a lot of the times our relationships with people, how many of us actually desire to have what you just spoke about, Saul, with everybody around us, our children, our family, our friends, our colleagues, and yet there's very few places that we allow ourselves to have that intensity of receiving, that total vulnerability and being completely present with no barrier up. And there's, that acknowledgement of what you were willing to be and receive in that moment is just that's available. Once you've had a taste of that, that's available for you in every area of your life if you're willing to choose it. So there's a level of vulnerability that the animal kingdom invites us to that can, if you're willing to be it, contribute to every single relationship that you have on the face of the planet. The gift
I
that
love
keeps on gifting.
Yeah, I love that. And I think
Yeah.
that's a great place to leave our conversation from now for now. I hope you guys got something from this, and Viv and I are going to be doing some Facebook lives over the next few weeks, so keep your eyes and ears out for more. Thanks for coming on, Viv, and thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Saul. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. May the horse be with you.
I love it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.